It's 10 o'clock at night, and it still feels like 103 degrees in Kalamazoo. And tomorrow, there's more heat on the way. It's another weather alert day. I'll tell you how hot it will get coming up.
And it starts with understanding we must reverse Bidenomics.
And Republican hopefuls take the stage in Wisconsin as former President Trump tries to upstage them. The latest from the debates.
And the trial for the final 3 suspects in the alleged plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer is underway. How long attorneys say it could take to reach a verdict.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3 on your CW7. Live at 10.
Good evening. Things have cooled down a little bit. West Michigan gets a chance to catch its breath and cool down from sweltering heat and high humidity as we look live over downtown Kalamazoo. 93 on the thermometer today, but feeling like 110 degrees combined with that suffocating humidity.
And all this extreme heat made anywhere with water a popular place to be. Dozens of families soaked themselves head to toe at the new Maple Hill splash pad in Kalamazoo County, using up every minute of daylight to try and stay cool. And it really didn't matter where you were today. This was one of the hottest days of the entire year.
Battle Creek reached triple digits as well and forced several schools to cancel sports practices and games. The Lakeview boys tennis team moving their practice indoors so the squad could still get some swings in. The Spartans varsity football team also spent today working out in the weight room to get ready for tomorrow night's rivalry game against Harper Creek. Unfortunately for players, coaches, and fans, it could be even hotter than today, tomorrow. And that's why we've called a second straight weather alert day for extreme heat and humidity.
And Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson is live in the Weather Alert Center to tell us how hot we're talking. Keith?
It's going to be another steamy one tomorrow there, Jessica. I think, in fact, there is reason to believe it could be even hotter than today. And right now, it's still awfully hot. These are the air temperatures as we are looking at 88 degrees right now. You know, our typical high for the day is around 80, 81. And here it is at 10 o'clock, and we're still very hot. In fact, mid to upper 80s across much of the area, and those dew points are still oppressive. And so that puts our feels like temperature at 10:02, at 103 in Kalamazoo and Benton Harbor, 100 on the nose in Three Rivers and Battle Creek. It's all quiet on live Doppler radar. We're watching showers and storms pop up on the east side of the state. If we see any activity, I think it's going to be along and east of US 127 in the middle of the state. As we told you earlier, we have another weather alert day for tomorrow because that heat will continue. Heat advisory will continue through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for Allegan, Berry, Kent, and Ottawa counties. For Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun counties, it will go through 2 a.m. Friday. In other words, tomorrow it will be another advisory day. And the same story for Berrien County, also Cass, Branch, St. Joe, and Hillsdale. I'll have much more on when we'll see some relief. That's coming up. Back to you.
All right, Keith, thanks. Schools in our area are not often closed when it's too hot, but a handful are using their first snow days in the very first week of the new school year.
Ironic, isn't it? Well, the most intense heat is expected in our Indiana border counties, and that's where all of our school closures are concentrated right now. Classes are canceled tomorrow in 4 districts so far, and those include Bronson and Quincy in Branch County and Centerville and Mendon in St. Joseph County. Grand Rapids Public Schools also says it'll have a half day of class, and we could see more overnight, so monitor our website. That's WWMT.com for all the updates.
Now, tomorrow night is the opening night for Michigan high school football. It is also our first football fever show of the week, but the Heat will be just as tough an opponent as whomever lines up on the other side of the line of scrimmage. The MHSAA says when it gets this hot, no one should practice or play outdoors. The association's guidelines say that threshold is 104 degrees on the heat index, or feels like index, which most of West Michigan surpassed today. Teams can practice or play when the heat index is 99 to 103, but the MHSAA says there should be mandatory 30-minute water breaks for every 10 minutes of gameplay. Schools can also try to delay the game so it starts closer to sunset when it theoretically is cooler outdoors. And that's what Battle Creek Lakeview is doing to try and squeeze their football game in with Harper Creek tomorrow night.
We moved it from 7 to 7:30. There could be a possibility to get pushed back to 8 for game time start. We'll determine that tomorrow.
Now, several schools have already made that call, including Football Fever's Game of the Week. Portage Northern will now head to Vicksburg tomorrow night for a 7 p.m. kickoff. And Kalamazoo United also taking an extra day before they take a long road trip to face the Berrien Springs Shamrocks. Hastings and Middleville Thornapple Kellogg also moving to Friday from Thursday. Kickoff now set for 7:30 p.m. And just into our newsroom in the last hour, tomorrow's football game between Centerville and Union City has been moved to Saturday night at 6 p.m. Lots of changes already, likely more on the way once we begin to sweat tomorrow in this extreme heat.
Well, the extreme temps are coming at a bad time for new college students. Tomorrow is move-in day at Western Michigan University, and it's going to be a hot one. If you're heading to Kalamazoo tomorrow to move in at WMU, of course, it's a good idea to pack some water, especially after trekking up and down all those stairs, getting your freshmen settled into the dorms. You can stay on top of things as this heat makes its way through West Michigan. For the latest updates on changes for tomorrow's football games and a list of cooling centers in the area, just head to our website, WWMT.com. And make sure you also download our free news and weather apps.
Now, the first presidential debate of the 2024 campaign season is happening right now and just on the other side of Lake Michigan. Here's a live look right now at the Forum in Milwaukee, where the Republicans are debating. We're just halfway through this 2-hour debate featuring 8 GOP presidential candidates.
And these are the 8 people who are on stage for the debate right now. A range of political experience from none, former governors, current governors, a U.S. senator, and a former vice president. And all 8 of those candidates are hoping to gain some ground on former President Donald Trump, who is the runaway leader in the polls right now.
But the former president is not on stage tonight, giving those 8 candidates who are some much needed face time with a national audience.
We cannot succeed as a country if you are working hard and you can't afford groceries, a car, or a new home.
Now, I was elected as a conservative Republican in a blue state with 61% of the vote. We can stop that by turning the spigot off at Washington, sending the money back to the states, and allowing the decisions to be made at their own houses.
If you have a broken car, you don't turn over the keys to the people who broke it again. You hand it over to a new generation to actually fix the problem.
Is climate change real? Yes, it is. But if you want to go and really change the environment, then we need to start telling China and India that they have to lower their emissions.
Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie. We don't need to bring in people without experience.
We can't just talk about the Biden economy because the economy, energy, and national security are all tied together.
That's what we need in Washington, D.C. We need somebody who can actually constrain the growth of the federal government.
Former President Donald Trump deciding to skip tonight's debate, but still trying to peel some eyeballs away. Tonight, Trump sat down for an interview with former Fox News commentator Tucker Carlson for his new show on social media.
You see the polls have come out, and I'm leading by 50 and 60 points. And, you know, some of them are at 1 and 0 and 2. And I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that?
Our chief political correspondent is in the arena in Milwaukee right now covering this GOP presidential debate. We'll have a full recap for you tonight on News Channel 3 at 11.